According to legend, this sword will only break if its wielder does. Welcome to another DragonLance Saga episode. My name is Adam, and today we're going to talk about the Brightblade. I'd like to take a moment and thank the members of this channel and invite you to consider becoming a member by visiting the link in the description below. You can even pick up DragonLance gaming materials using my affiliate link. I am referencing Lost Leaves from the Inn of the Last Home, DLQ-1 Knight's Sword, and War of the Lance source books for this information. If I misspeak or leave anything out, please leave a comment below. Its true history was discovered in the Great Library of Khrystann in Tarsis, just before the Red Dragonarmy assault during the War of the Lance. Its history is recorded by the renowned scholar and priest of Kiri-Jolith, Sumitpo diFurian. What is known is as follows. The sword itself is thought to be from 2000 to 2900 years old. Most agree with the more recent estimate. It was forged by a dwarven weaponsmith named Romgar Firesteel as a gift for one man and what that man represented. Berthel was a young Salamnic squire of the crown. He was the son of a simple farmer, traveling north from Heartland to Vingaard Keep, where he was hoping to be knighted a Knight of the Crown. His sponsor, Sir Decanto, deemed young Berthel worthy of the honor. Berthel stopped in Jansburg, a small village south of the keep, for the night and met a wonderful dwarf named Romgar Firesteel. They shared food and drink into the night. As the sun rose the next day, Berthel prepared for his journey and heard screaming throughout the town. Upon investigation, he discovered a tribe of goblins on wolfback terrorizing the villagers. Berthel mounted his steed and began his defense of the town. He eventually came upon the leader of the tribe, a hobgoblin, who had wounded Romgar and was ready to deal a killing blow when Berthel called out a challenge. The hobgoblin accepted it, and they battled ferociously. Berthel was badly wounded, but eventually killed the creature. He crawled over to his friend and began tending to his wounds until he passed out from his own blood loss. He woke 3 days later in the inn with his wounds partially healed. He learned that without a leader, the goblins gave up their assault. His new friend had stayed with him and joined him in his final stretch to Vingaard Keep, where he gave a statement on Berthel's heroism and selfless actions. The High Justice agreed to knight Berthel in 2 months' time. Romgar was not finished, however. He took it upon himself to show his gratitude to the knight-to-be by forging him a one-of-a-kind weapon, blessed by Kiri-Jolith himself. Romgar sent dispatches to Garnet with orders for silver, gold, steel, and a red gem from the Firesteel treasury. The materials arrived a week later, and Romgar spent 2 weeks in a forge to produce the finest masterpiece he had ever crafted, the Brightblade. The Brightblade is known as a hand-and-a-half sword. This provides leverage to its wielder. It is a bastard sword of exquisite design. The grip and crossguard are plated in pure gold. The grip is edged in the golden patterns of the era, inspired by Tieshara Lurath, the elven architect. Its palm was silver with a gold-etched heraldry. It features a 49-inch double-edged blade with dwarven runes of protection, honor, and friendship engraved into its silvery surface. Just above its crossguard is the Firesteel clan ruby, held in place by 2 twirling strips of gold. Engraved on the left of the ruby is the kingfisher, and on the right is a rose. Running the length of the blade is a fuller, one of the first swords to feature it. The blade never dulls or dims. It can cut through anything lighter than plate armor as a hot knife through butter. The blade cannot break if the wielder is one who is pure in heart and follows the tenets of Vinus Solamnus, honor, justice, and compassion. If its wielder strays from the path of good, the sword will shatter. It is believed that Romgar Firesteel had a vision wherein Paladine and Kiri-Jolith showed him how to forge the blade, and that the materials used were blessed by Gritmar Steelbrand, a priest of reorcs. Whether Berthel adopted the name Brightblade from the sword, or Romgar christened the blade after its recipient is unknown. But what is known is that Berthel used the sword against the Ergothians with Vinus Solamnus himself. Vinus was so impressed with the young knight that he made him a lieutenant. Berthel passed the sword to his child, Badal. Badal also proved himself a hero by holding a strategic pass against fierce nomads by himself until reinforcements could arrive. He fought the nomads to a standstill. It would stay in the family for millennia, until after the Cataclysm, when the sword was to pass to Bayard Brightblade. It was instead mislaid or stolen. Bayard quested for the sword, and after a week, he returned with the sword, and the ordeal earned him his knighthood. Bayard would pass the sword to his adopted son, Galen Pathwarden Decala Brightblade. When Bayard's true son came of age, the sword was passed to him. Generations later, Angrif Brightblade would be the new owner, and after sending his wife and son to Solus as their keep was being raided, Angrif hid his armor and sword in the hopes that his son would return one day to find them. Sturm Brightblade would travel to his birth home and eventually find his father's Solamnic armor and the Brightblade. Sturm would wield it until his death at the Battle of the High Clerist's Tower during the War of the Lance. The Brightblade would be buried with Sturm in the catacombs beneath the fortress. In time, Karaman Magir and Tanis Half-Elven would bring Sturm's son, Steel Brightblade Uthmatar, to his father's tomb in the hopes of turning him from the Knights of Takhisis. They were unsuccessful, but Sturm's spirit would appear and gift the Brightblade and the Star Jewel given to Sturm by Alhana Starbreeze to his son. Steel would wield the Brightblade in the Battle of the High Clerist's Tower during the Chaos War, and the Battle of the Abyss, where he drew blood with the Brightblade from Chaos, the father of all and nothing, defeating him and saving Krynn with Palin Magir, Tasselhoff Burfoot, and Usha Magir. Steel did not survive the battle, and Palin Magir would recover his cousin's body and the Brightblade, laying the sword of his family of thousands of years upon his breast in the Tomb of Last Heroes in Solace. As far as anyone knows, the Brightblade remains there to this day. It's hard for me to imagine a more prescient weapon other than the Dragonlance itself that perfectly encapsulates the tradition of chivalry, honor, sacrifice, and family. It was forged as a heartfelt gift of thanks and remained in the family for millennia. Now, ironically, the owners and history of the Brightblade have been illustrious, but it is not a weapon commonly known, as its distinguished list of owners, the Brightblade family, is traditionally closed-mouthed about its prowess in history. They have preferred to let their deeds speak for them rather than their history. And that is all I have to say about the Brightblade. Do you believe the Brightblade will ever be wielded again? Would you also like to hear more of its myriad of owners' history like I would? And finally, if you could have the Brightblade or a Dragonlance, which would you want and why? Leave a comment below. I'd like to take a moment and remind you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, ring the bell to get notified about upcoming videos, and click the like button. This all goes to help other Dragonlance fans learn about this channel and its content. And this channel is all about celebrating the wonderful world of the DragonLance Saga, and I welcome you to join in the celebration. Thank you for watching. This has been Adam with DragonLance Saga, and until next time, remember, only through these great sacrifices will we find hope.